Hey guys, welcome to the Sim Racing Paddock. I'm William Marsh, and in front of me is one of the worst kept secrets of 2020, and that is the Thrustmaster T-LCM load cell pedals. So these have been in development for quite a while. I remember rumors of prototypes and things like that dating back all the way to 2016, 2017, but now finally in front of us are an actual set. So these have been eagerly anticipated by the sim racing community, so I'm not going to make you wait. Without further ado, let's jump into the box and see what's inside. So these are the Thrustmaster T-LCM pedals. They're beefy. I'm going to say that. So my first impressions of these are that they are all metal build except for the base. I would have liked to see an option for more metal in the base, but the pedals, I can look inside and it's just about all metal construction, and it has a nice beefy feel to it. So this back here is the load cell. The load cell, it has an interesting mechanism to it. It has the springs to dampen it, and it pushes down from this end of the pedal onto a load cell. It has a very smooth progression to it. It actually feels quite nice. One thing also worth mentioning is that the progression and travel and the force of the Thrustmaster T-LCM's brake is also able to be adjusted and tweaked by different springs and elements like that. So yeah, that brake feels good. One of the things I was concerned about was if the gas pedal might be a little too light, similar to how the gas pedal feels in the Thrustmaster T3PAs, but this feels pretty good. This feels like it has a relatively decent weight, a little heavier than, say, the T3PAs or T3PA Pros. I'd say it is about on par with the Fanatic Club Sport pedals at the stock setting, so that's nice. The clutch pedal is definitely heavier though. The clutch pedal is definitely heavier than the gas pedal. It feels nice. There is no progression system similar to what Club Sport pedals have, so don't go in anticipating that, but it is a decent feeling clutch, so I'll give it that. But enough about talking about this set. Let's mount it up to a rig and see it in action. Hey guys, it's Will again. I just wanted to provide a quick disclaimer. I had originally intended for this review to go live on February 13th. That was when the review embargo was lifted. That's when you saw reviews from channels such as Sim Racing Garage and The Sim Pit. And if you haven't already, after this video, I recommend you check them out. They do their own perspective on the reviews. But yeah, so unfortunately life got in the way and kept me from releasing the review on the specified date. But I decided I was going to make the best of that time, give a little more testing, add to what I had in my scripted review. And yeah, so I just wanted to let you know that fortunately, due to having that added time, I was able to do a little more testing and a little more sort of trial and error with the pedals. So yeah, let's get on to the review. For my testing of the Thrustmaster T-LCM pedals, I decided to mount them onto my SimLab GT1 Evo cockpit because to me it looked like that cockpit had the most versatile pedal mounting plate out of any of my current sim racing cockpits. However, I ran into my first issues with the pedals, and that was the fact that they actually have a new mounting system that is different than what they used with their previous pedal sets. The Thrustmaster T-LCM utilizes 5 mounting holes on the pedal base, 1 for each corner and 1 in the center. You can actually utilize the T3PA pedals mounting holes on a pedal plate, but it appears that many sim racing cockpits aren't pre-drilled for these new pedals, which makes sense, but makes things a little more inconvenient. Fortunately, Thrustmaster includes a drilling template in the box, which I used to drill the remaining holes onto my GT1 Evo's pedal tray. Also, for people who are curious, I tried mounting the pedals with just the 2 holes that are standard on each cockpit. However, I encountered the issue with the back of the pedals lifting up under braking, so I definitely do not recommend using just those 2 holes. However, once I fully mounted the pedal set, it was rock solid. Another thing I want to get out of the way is that, in my opinion, the pedal set isn't exactly a stunner when it comes to looks. You can definitely tell where the design cues came from the T3 PA pedals, and it's a weird hybrid. The design cues of the diamond patterned aluminum heel plate is nice, but it feels like it doesn't mesh well with the black plastic of the rest of the base. The pedal arms and faces are also an all metal design, but for some reason it just comes off looking a little weird compared to other pedal sets. Is it the weirdly smooth design on the pedal faces? Is it the honeycomb design on the pedal arms? Well, I can't put a finger on it exactly, but when it's the sum of its parts, it comes off looking a little cheap. Granted, this is just my opinion, and I've heard quite a few varying opinions throughout the community. Let's hear your thoughts in the comments. Fortunately, the T-LCM pedal set performs far better than it looks. The pedals feel like a significant leap over their predecessors and feel like a genuinely great mid-range set of pedals. Thrustmaster definitely spent a lot of time working on moving the technology forward and making it a step above what they've done before. The biggest new feature of the T-LCM pedals is the load cell for the brake pedal. The T-LCM brake pedal features an all-new mechanism that, to be frank, is very different compared to other sets, even the CSL Elite pedals that are comparably priced. The connection point of the pedals to the springs is this unique branch off the brake pedal, and then it features an adjustable spring system to adjust the resistance. At the bottom of the springs is a load cell which can handle up to 100 kilograms of force. While the load cell understandably steals the show with this set, another interesting thing is the technology that powers the gas pedal and the clutch. Thrustmaster has been developing a reputation for their use of Hall effect sensors in their wheel and shifters and even in their flight accessories. But for the past decade, we've always been seeing their pedals using conventional potentiometers. This time around, Thrustmaster has utilized Hall sensors in the gas and clutch, which is claimed to have an unlimited lifespan due to the fact that there are no moving parts in contact with each other. However, time will tell if those claims live up, but personally, I do prefer contactless sensors over potentiometers. All three pedals feature a 16-bit resolution when the pedal set is connected to the computer through USB. That is easily the highest resolution available for any pedal set under $500, and even features higher precision than my Usingfeld Engineering Sim Pedals Pro. If you connect the T-LCM pedal set into a Thrustmaster wheel via the RJ12 cable, the resolution drops to a more traditional 12-bit resolution, but you gain the benefit of the wheel and pedal set being on one USB device, as well as the added benefit of console compatibility. One other thing I want to talk about before jumping into the performance of the pedals is the configuration utility. The Thrustmaster website includes a configuration utility that allows you to adjust the brake force of the pedals as well as add in dead zone to all three pedals. It's a relatively simple software and it works fairly well. One thing worth mentioning though is that you can only make adjustments in the PC software if your pedal set is directly plugged in through USB. However, the saved settings will carry over if you plug the pedals into a wheel after calibration and will also transfer to the pedals when you're using it with a console. Now, all of this box info is nice and all, but let's tackle the question you're all wondering about: how do these pedals feel while driving? And the answer is, well, it depends on what you're looking for. The Thrustmaster T-LCM pedals are one of the most unusual pedal sets I've driven in a while, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. The brake pedal in this set is a very interesting beast. If I could put it simply, it feels more like a high-performance road car than a traditional race car. The preloading of the brake is quite significant, even when I had it set to the setting to minimize the preload on the brake. I tend to prefer minimal preload on my brake pedal, but after a half hour or so of driving with this set, I did get fairly comfortable with driving with that brake. So, if you prefer a somewhat further travel on your brake pedal, then you may like the T-LCMs. For myself personally, I prefer the shorter throw that I've gotten used to on my Using Felt pedals or my Club Sport pedals V3 with the brake performance kit, but also consider those are significantly more expensive sets. For the value, the brake pedal on this set is quite good. One thing I do want to mention though is that the pedals have a little bit of lateral wiggle to it, which is somewhat noticeable while driving, especially while heel and towing. You'll feel that bit of side to side flex in the pedal, and it's an interesting sensation. Now, I don't think it's truly indicative of the pedals being unreliable or they're going to break, but it's something I just want to at least bring into your consideration. Now that we've talked about the brake pedal, let's talk about the other two pedals on this set. The gas and clutch pedals are a significant step above the T3PA pedal sets, with a longer throw thanks to the longer pedal arms. That, combined with the longer adjustable pedal plates, make for a more premium feeling set than the T3PAs, and also offers some features above its competition. The gas pedal is a hair lighter than I would like personally, but it works alright. The clutch has a nice solid weight to it, but it's a pretty bog standard sim racing clutch pedal. No digressive system or anything like that, just a standard linear clutch pedal. But also keep in mind, we're talking about a $200 pedal set. So one final question I want to bring up is, are these pedals better used with socks or shoes? Well, it's a tricky situation for me. For most of my testing, I tested with socks, and it felt just about right. When I did some testing with my tennis shoes, the brake felt alright, but the gas pedal ended up feeling a bit too light for myself to properly modulate and be precise with. Then, I swapped over to my Goodyear racing shoes, and it felt relatively decent. The gas pedal was still a hair light for my liking, but if I spent more time, I bet I could have easily adapted. So I'd say these pedals are on the cusp of being decent shoe pedals, but I'd say they are best used wearing socks or very thin soled shoes. So with that final question out of the way, let's tackle the question, do I recommend the Thrustmaster T-LCM pedals? Well, for the most part, yes. They are a sizable leap in quality and performance from Thrustmaster that makes me go, well, it's about time. If you're knee-deep in the Thrustmaster ecosystem and you're looking for a better performing pedal set than what you currently have, it's easy to justify the investment. These are a truly high-quality load cell pedal set, and there's a surprising amount of performance squeaked into a $200 package. There isn't anything particularly revolutionary or groundbreaking for the pedal set, but it's just a good, solid performing pedal set that I feel is worth the asking price. But how about if you're looking for a standalone PC pedal set? Well, there are reasons to get it, and there are reasons not to get it. For the $200 price bracket, this puts it in competition with the CSL Elite load cell pedals from Fnatic. Personally, I feel the Fnatics have a slightly higher build quality and fit and finish, but the Thrustmasters are actually the more technically advanced set, featuring a higher USB resolution, contactless sensors, and a stronger load cell, not to mention a more compact design. So, realistically, if you go with the Thrustmaster T-LCM expecting a decent performing $200 pedal set, you won't really go away disappointed. They offer a basic but solid experience, and they show a decent leap in performance from Thrustmaster that I've honestly been waiting a while for. So these are my thoughts on the new T-LCM load cell pedals from Thrustmaster. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Also, if you like this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to help keep us on track. For the Sim Racing Paddock, I'm William Marsh, and thanks for watching.